Welcome to L&A Talks, Coffee Talks, or Late Night Bedtime Stories with L&A.
Remember we used to do the meditation?
Yeah.
People
Just
used to
close
fall
your
asleep,
eyes.
asleep to our voice. It's kind of creepy.
Relax.
All right, so we are back with our
Start
next
the timer now.
topic.
10 minutes or less. Next topic.
So we are going to talk about the 4 R's. Now we have coined this. It's not trademarked, but we have coined the 4 R's of success, which are reflect, revise, repeat, and results. And it just goes in circles.
So let's think about this one right now, right? The 4 R's. Why is it so important? Lindsey mentioned this a few years ago, and we created this as a principle. And like we said before, principles are things that just really don't change. And when you think about anything that you've done in your life, in any of the forms of wealth, and we'll discuss those later on.
If you listen to anybody, Tony Robinson,
Dean Graziosi, Les Brown,
they all say the same thing.
Eric Thomas.
It's the same thing.
Brandon Bouchard. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot. We love them all. So thank you guys very much.
Oh, shut up.
All right. So in any event, we give them back and we serve, and that is why we are here in the podcast. So like, subscribe, and hit that bell so that this podcast can continue, as well as you can watch these videos on YouTube, because we really love doing them. And at the same time, we want to help you guys and serve as we build our lives, and we want to take you on this journey, and we hope to see your journey continue to grow too. So the 4 R's. Lindsey mentioned this a while ago, and it is just stay with us. And I think it's so important when you look at all the forms of wealth, the 4 R's, similar to the CCA, if they're not present, or you're not doing this as action steps continuously, things that you want to have accomplished are just not going to happen. And we'll say them again. The 4 R's are this: reflect, revise, repeat what's working, and you get results, right? That 4th R, results, is what happens when you do the other 3. They're almost like building blocks. It's like boom, boom, boom. So Lindsey coined it a few years ago. That's awesome. We use it constantly. So here's the thing, Lindsey, I'm just going to ask you these questions right now.
Sure.
What does it mean by reflecting?
Reflecting. So you need to reflect on the things that are going well and the things that aren't going well.
Well,
so
what's reflection? What does that even mean?
Reflection is sitting back and looking, like I just said, looking at what you've been doing. You have to assess. It's another word is assessing. You got to assess what you're doing. And it's something that you need to do on a daily basis. We typically tell clients to reflect every week, because reflecting every day might be overwhelming. So if you want to do it once a week, that's totally fine. But reflection and assessing what you're doing is really important to make sure you're going in the right direction. So you want to reflect on what you are doing. You want to, the next R.
Well, the next R, Miss Linz. What is the revising aspect of the 4 R's? So we have reflect, and then I got to revise. What is that?
So revise is coming up with a different solution. So maybe, your reflection is, I didn't prepare dinners. So your revision could be, okay, well, I'm reflecting, why wasn't I able to prepare dinners? I didn't have enough time. My meetings ran too late. I didn't prepare or go grocery shopping. So what can you do to revise all of those problems? Well, you can plan ahead better. So on Sunday, you can go to the grocery store, you can plan your meals ahead, and you can schedule out your time. So that's some of the revisions that you can make. Now, the next one, am I getting ahead?
No, you're doing great. But I will say, before we go to the next one, it just listening to you, and I love listening to you, I really do. It's one of those things where revising almost sounds like you're gonna almost make up your excuses. Like, all I heard you talk about there is like you're listing off all the excuses and reasons, whichever one you want. Reason starts with an R2, so that's cool. But like all those were just like, why didn't it happen? Why didn't something happen that you said you were gonna happen? Right? That the discipline and the commitment and the consistency sounds like CCA. Go back and listen to a couple other podcasts from before. But it just sounded like revise is really, is all about like, all right, I just made excuses for myself and I'm trying to have compassion, maybe empathy. Is that kind of a way to look at it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you don't have to kick yourself in the balls because you have to revise a lot of things. It's having, no, it really is.
I just visualize myself kicking myself in the balls.
It's just looking yourself in the mirror and saying, all right, I was shitty this week and I made a lot of excuses. Let me revise them to be better for the following week.
Cool. And then going into the third one is repeat. So are you telling me that I got to repeat my excuses?
No, you actually, when you reflect on the two things. You reflect on it is what you need to revise, and you reflect on the things that went really well and you want to continue to repeat. So, for example, if one of your goals for the week that you reflected on, that the first thing is to set your goals. And if one of the goals was to drink 60 ounces of water a day and you drank 60 ounces of water a day, that's something that you're going to repeat.
Okay.
So
Okay.
repeat the things that went well. And that's all part of the reflection piece. So think of it as reflections at the top. Then you have revise the things that didn't go well, repeat the things that did go well. It's a diamond to get the results. Did you realize that it was a diamond? Wow, it's a diamond.
Oh, yeah, we'll think about if it's truly a diamond, because I can go and analyze all of this, because to me, it's kind of like it's a never ending diamond though,
Yes.
because once you get to the results, you have to revise and look at it as like, how did I get these results? What did I do? Like the thing that I hear you saying too, and this might help people with an analogy, is if like Lindsay has an awesome cookbook too, and she's like a little chef at heart and stuff, and she's made cookbooks and had her power back snacks and all these fun little ventures with her. So she knows how to cook. So I'm going to put this in an analogy. So if Lindsay came to you and said, hey, here is the world's best meatloaf. I don't even know, you best pizza, whatever, best hamburger. And she gave you the recipe, right? Here's the recipe for the best meatloaf. My grandma's special recipe. If I gave you that, or if Lindsay gave you that recipe, why would you change it? Right? You wouldn't look at that recipe and say, oh, I'm going to change it up because I think I can make it better. Maybe you could, but the first time you would have to just repeat everything she did. And that's kind of like what I hear you're saying is like, just repeat the things that did work well and don't try to reinvent the wheel.
Mm-hmm.
And then after, you can either get the results and then revise whatever you wanted to change. Maybe there was peppers and you didn't like the peppers, so you took it out, and then you revise and you repeat the process until you find out what your result is that you want to make.
Sounds like another perfect example in business that we use all the time is reflecting on what is it that other successful businesses are doing. So we reflect on that, you do your research, and then you repeat it, because like you said,
success leaves clues.
Yeah, don't reinvent the wheel. Repeat what it is that's working for other companies that are in the same industry. And you do that. Sometimes you have to start with the repeating, and then you can revise what's not working for you. You can make it a little bit more specific to you. So it really is this back and forth of revise, repeat, or repeating and revising at the same time to get the results you want. And the results that you want are always going to change. Your reflection's always going to change. And that's why it's something that you need to do weekly. We do it daily. We try to do it daily, but you always want to, whenever you feel like you need to reset, just reflect. Whenever you're feeling sad, depressed, angry, reflect on your life, reflect on your fitness, reflect on your fuel, and reflect on your life. It's a 3-prong reflection.
Yeah. There's just so many things now that I'm thinking about it, and I'm reflecting as we're speaking right now.
Reflection is good.
Reflection is huge. Like I didn't realize that, but it's so interesting just in life and as a whole concept. It's just, it just reflection causes you to just revise what works, what doesn't work. I mean, there's a reason, I'm going to wrap it all together. There's a reason why we like keeping these short, because guess what? Success with podcasts and things like that, it doesn't have to be that long. People like things a little short because, again, your time is valuable, right? Attention span's going. So we got to make these short. It's also why there's a line out there that says, don't reinvent the wheel. Why do you not have to reinvent the wheel? Because the circle and a wheel is pretty damn good. Now, over the last thousands of years after we created the wheel, not much has really changed. The rubber material, the way, kind of the roundness, oval, those kind of things, might have changed, but we just made it better. But the shape alone hasn't necessarily gotten better. So it's like revise and don't reinvent things. Just look what works. Look at how you can reflect on it, revise what could be better, completely like repeat the things that work well, and then get their success.
See the success, the results, is because they don't reflect on it they don't reflect on what they're doing. They're either unhappy with their results, or they're just lost.
Yeah, they want instant gratification. They're
gratification.
not willing to have the patience and perseverance to grind through the hard part and then be willing to just see the suck. And we will talk about that, because that's a great point, and a great next topic is understanding that
Embracing the no's.
Embrace the suck, and don't always look for instant gratification. In a world of instant gratification, that is the saddest reality.
Nothing worth.
I just said this to you
You
today.
did.
We got to finish it right up. But nothing worth anything comes easy. All right. Nothing easy is worth
high risk, high reward.
Much. Yeah.
That's another topic.
That's a whole nother topic. So there you go. What are the 4 R's?
Reflect, revise, repeat, results.
Yeah. Love it. So try those 4 R's today, and let's see what happens on the next podcast. Have a great rest of the day.